The state capital of Florida, Tallahassee, boasts nature, museums, and, of course, the Seminoles. It's a small city with a big history. One has an inviting vibe and an air of youthfulness. The compact downtown district is where you'll have access to a range of art galleries, museums, and happening nightlife. It doesn't take long to get beyond the city boundaries to find state parks and wildlife refuges. This delightful balance means there's always a way to rearrange the things to do in Tallahassee depending on the weather or if the kids aren't up for another hike. In this video, you'll see the top 10 things to see and do in Tallahassee. The suggestions are based on our several exciting trips to the City of Angels. Here are our top 10 picks. Begin with number 1, Florida Historic Capitol Museum. Set within Tallahassee's former Capitol building, the Florida Historic Capitol Museum will take you on a journey through the state's government and political history. But before you even step foot in the museum, you'll be captivated by the sight of one of the city's most significant pieces of architecture. After being built in 1845, the beautiful building, complete with its iconic red and white awnings, was the Capitol until 1977. After admiring the facade, its columns and spire, wander inside to the opulent lobby, fixed with a glass ceiling. Once home to Florida's state leaders, 21 rooms in the building now house the museum's exhibits. Number 2 is the St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge. One of the best ways to experience the nature around Tallahassee is to spend some time in St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge. The expansive refuge is one of the oldest in the United States. It harbors a rich mix of ecosystems that help make Florida's Gulf Coast so special. Adventurers will be able to explore tidal creeks, marshlands, estuaries, and even islands, using a variety of hiking trails and watercraft. As the name suggests, this is a refuge for wildlife, and you should expect to see some on your travels. The park is home to alligators, coyotes, and black bears, not to mention a prominent population of migratory birds in winter. Number 3, Tallahassee Automobile Museum. Whether you're a motorhead or not, there's plenty to keep your interest at the Tallahassee Automobile Museum. The enormous indoor space boasts a spectacular collection of vintage cars, but some rather odd creations you'll be happy aren't on the roads today. The museum first opened in 1996 and today features over 140 vehicles. Most of these were made right here in the United States, with the Tallahassee Automobile Museum putting a high emphasis on cars that became a part of the country's culture. Number 4, Cascades Park. With all your favorite park snacks and games in the car, take a break from the sights and enjoy some time in the sun. Cascades Park is a popular urban space with walking trails, amphitheaters, playgrounds, and water features. It's a pleasant way to grab some fresh air without having to wander far. On a typical Florida summer day, you could escape to the coast, but you'll also find over 70 water jets in the park's playgrounds. Head for the shade while the young ones cool off. To stretch your legs, wander down the walking trails, past soaring trees with Spanish moss, creating an array of light and shade. Number 5 in our list, Florida State University. A huge part of life in Tallahassee, the Florida State University is home to over 30,000 students and covers a huge part of northern downtown. Tallahassee has its own history outside of the university, but the campus is a big part of local culture, from both an academic and sports perspective. Visitors can jump on a tour departing from the Visitor Information Center, or just use the center's repository of maps and knowledge to explore the campus on a whim. As you wander, you'll come across Bryan Hall, built in 1907, Landis Hall, and its sun-soaked courtyard along with the Strozier Library. Number 6, Tallahassee Museum. If you're seeking a unique way to experience local history, then you must add the Tallahassee Museum to your itinerary. Sure, you might be thinking, another museum? But no local museum is like this one. The Tallahassee Museum blurs the line between a history repository and an adventure park. The zip lines, hiking trails, and wildlife enclosures make it a thrilling experience that will keep the entire family entertained. Begin on the elevated boardwalks by a series of enclosures home to almost 20 different species. Number 7. Alfred B. Mlay Garden State Park. Both a botanical garden and historic site, Alfred B. Mlay Garden State Park is a unique and beautiful attraction. Covering a section north of Tallahassee, the expansive park is also a part of the Killen Plantation Archaeological Historic District. To begin with, it's your classic and colorful botanical garden experience. But beyond the blooming flowers lies almost 20 historic buildings. The park is almost 2 centuries old and is laden with azaleas, magnolias, and camellias. You can hike, cycle, or horseback ride along the many paths stopped by the Alfred B. Mlay home, or even set out on a kayak to explore the park's lake. Number 8. Appalachicola National Forest. Set between Tallahassee and the fishing town of Appalachicola, the Appalachicola National Forest is a haven for nature lovers and hikers. The National Forest is home to an amazing mix of habitats, from longleaf pine forests to swamps, surging rivers, and tranquil lakes. One of the best things to do here is to escape the heat with a swim. At Silver Lake, you can walk through the gorgeous forest to the water's edge and 250 feet of golden sand before diving in. There are also 80 miles of hiking trails that range from short interpretive hikes to multi-day adventures. Number 9. Lake Ella and Amp, Fred Drake Park. Just north of downtown, Lake Ella and Amp, Fred Drake Park is your easy and tranquil escape from the heart of the city. The lake itself is the main draw, being a beautiful body of water in the center of the park. One that has become a popular Tallahassee attraction for residents. Park visitors can make the most of the scenic walking trails that envelope the lake, providing views of the water as it glistens under the sun while spotting geese, swans, and even the odd turtle. As you walk, you'll find picnic areas and spacious lawns perfect for hanging with friends or tucking into a good book. Finish with number 10. Railroad Square Art District. In the 1970s, a World War II-era industrial warehouse area lay dormant not far from downtown. In the ensuing years, it would become a part of a fresh revitalization that transformed the abandoned space into a place of creativity and expression, otherwise known as Railroad Square Art District. Vibrant and colorful, the district has been taken over by artists and artisans who've transformed the buildings into a mix of art galleries and boutique stores. It has a perennial atmosphere complemented by the array of murals. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite thing to do in Tallahassee? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.